Archangel Michael says, "Silence may have hidden your pain, but the heavens recorded every cry. You stood firm when the world gave you nothing but reasons to fall. You walked through days that felt like eternal storms and yet held on to hope with trembling hands. Your soul has been bleeding in places no one ever noticed. Not a single tear was wasted, they were collected like sacred diamonds in the realm of divine justice. Something greater is forming through every wound you carried alone. You may have been left out, betrayed, mocked behind your back by those who pretended to care. But none of it has gone unseen. The same stage where they humiliated you will become the very place you are celebrated. They looked at your suffering and assumed it meant defeat. But your pain was a preparation. A grand reversal is coming, and when it arrives, everything will make sense. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Even the people closest to you couldn't understand the depth of what you endured. They judged what they saw without knowing the battles you fought in silence. You protected them while bleeding internally. You were abandoned not because you were weak, but because your strength scared them. You held yourself together when you should have shattered. That power, that resilience, it was divine. Archangel Michael says, your pain didn't happen in vain. Every moment of heartbreak was a seed. And seeds bloom when the time is right. The season of your blooming is near. The time of reaping what you sowed through endurance and integrity is unfolding now. What was lost will return multiplied. Type Amen to get blessing 444. People thought your breakdowns meant you were done. But they never knew your tears watered the soil of your destiny. They didn't see how pain gave you wisdom, depth, and fire. You matured in the fire they meant to destroy you. The very sorrow that was supposed to silence you has shaped you into someone too powerful to ignore. You are not the same anymore. And that's your blessing. You are entering a moment where heaven will repay what the world took. What was denied will be given. What was broken will be restored with glory. There is a shift in the atmosphere with your name written in divine light. God is not just healing you, He's rewarding you. It's not a delay, it's preparation. Type Amen to get blessing 555. The very ones who spoke against you will hear your name praised in places they can't reach. They thought you were invisible, but you were just hidden for refinement. Your pain became your weapon. You stayed loyal when you were tempted to give up. That loyalty will speak for you. It will unlock gates that talent alone couldn't open. Pain has taught you value. It trained your spirit to recognize truth, peace, and purpose. Now the doors you're walking through are doors others begged for. Archangel Michael says, every night you spent alone talking to the stars wasn't ignored. Angels listened. Your cries built bridges into the future. Type Amen to get blessing 666. You've faced betrayal in ways that would have destroyed others. You had to watch people you loved change into strangers. That loss wasn't a punishment, it was a release. They couldn't journey where you're going. They weren't designed to stay past the storm. Now you're about to meet people who will water your spirit, not drain it. What was delayed will arrive unexpectedly. The peace you prayed for will descend like a whisper on a quiet night. And your smile, long lost, will return stronger. Pain gave you compassion. It broke your pride and replaced it with deep humility. And now, heaven trusts you with more. Type Amen to get blessing 777. They mocked your silence because they didn't know your silence was sacred. It was where angels ministered to you. It was where strength grew in secret. People walked away thinking you'd collapse. But every person who walked out only made space for someone greater to walk in. And soon, you will see that clearly. Archangel Michael says, you're being honored in the spiritual realm. Your name is spoken in rooms of light. The suffering wasn't just noticed, it was documented. You have spiritual receipts. Heaven owes you a harvest. It's already in motion, coming closer with every passing second. Type Amen to get blessing 888. You were crushed, but not destroyed. The crushing made you precious like oil from olives, like perfume from petals. You became valuable because of pressure. There are rewards that don't look like money. Peace, joy, spiritual strength, those are forming in your life now. But the financial reward is also coming. Your table is being prepared. The same ones who rejected you will hear about your breakthrough. And they'll realize your silence was never weakness, it was grace. Every sleepless night will be paid for. Every anxious breath, every battle you faced alone, it's all been counted. And now the heavens are about to respond. Type Amen to get blessing 999. You were chosen to carry more, so you had to go through more. You carried weight others couldn't see. But that weight made you divine. You weren't cursed, you were crafted. The darkness only made your light brighter. What you survived proves your assignment is holy. Your future is not only safe, it's glorious. You're walking into a season of public reward for private pain. And it won't stop at one blessing. Archangel Michael says, divine justice is real. And you're about to see it in your life like never before. No more delay, no more denial. Type Amen to get blessing 1010. If they only knew what it took for you to smile, they'd bow in silence. You made it through things people didn't even survive. You didn't just survive, you evolved. There's a spotlight being prepared. But this time, it's not for your pain, it's for your power. You'll stand tall, not with arrogance, but with divine authority. You are the reward for someone's mistreatment. Your evolution will disturb them. But you're no longer concerned with their opinions. You've been set apart. And now the shift will be undeniable. What was meant to break you is bowing before you. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. People said your journey was cursed. But what they didn't know was, you were carrying sacred fire. The fire that refines kings and queens. Your voice will be heard again. And this time, no one will be able to silence it. You're not returning the same, you're returning transformed. You kept faith when logic failed. You believed when you had no reason to. And that belief has built spiritual wealth no one can touch. This is your payback season. The reward is not only spiritual, it will be seen. It will be loud. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Keep going, you're almost there. Keep believing, you're closer than you think. Everything you endured is unlocking destiny. A celebration is being prepared in your honor. You just don't see the stage yet. But you'll feel the shift. Your pain has carved a path others will follow. You became a warrior while they were watching from a distance. Now you're the leader of something divine. Soon, your story will help others heal. And they'll say, if they made it through that, I can too. This is your legacy. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. Your reward is not coming, it's already in motion. Everything is aligning. The spiritual is meeting the physical. The air around you is heavy with breakthrough. The signs are all there. Pay attention to the small shifts. Doors that were stuck will now open with ease. Calls that were delayed will come through. People who ignored you will now request your presence. You will not be forgotten. You will not be overlooked. You will be crowned. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. Archangel Michael says, your name is being written in scrolls of honor. Divine justice has been approved. A holy wind is blowing toward your life. What was taken will be returned. What was broken will be made whole. You are not behind, you are being elevated at divine speed. Your story is sacred. And now it's about to be shared. Not as a tale of suffering, but as a testimony of divine reward. Be ready. This is not the end, it's the moment before the divine opening. The reward is closer than your next breath. Type Amen to get blessing 1515. Even when you were buried in silence, your spirit whispered louder than screams. The pain that seemed to break you actually carved the deepest foundation for your rising. No one could see what was forming beneath the surface, but heaven never stopped watching. You were tested in ways that would have broken the strongest. But you endured, not because you were lucky, but because you were chosen. And being chosen meant walking alone through valleys only the brave can pass. This journey was not just about surviving, it was about transformation. Every trial was an invitation for divine power to live within you. Now, that power is ready to be revealed. You didn't go through all that for nothing. There's glory rising from your ashes. And it's unstoppable. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. The moment you thought it was over was actually the divine moment of rebirth. You didn't collapse, you cocooned. And now the wings of your purpose are opening wide. No one clapped for you when you healed in silence. No one stayed when you screamed inwardly. But still, you kept going, and that is why your reward will be loud. The same people who walked away will now hear your name being honored. They'll scroll past your success and wonder how they missed your worth. But by then, it will be too late to return. You won't need revenge. Your reward will be enough. It will silence every lie, every doubt, every betrayal. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. There's a new fire around you now. One that no enemy can approach. One that shields you while preparing your platform. You are no longer available for pain that serves no purpose. You are no longer accessible to energy that drains your soul. What's ahead is rich, fulfilling, and divine. Archangel Michael says, what was stolen is coming back sevenfold. What was denied is now being reoffered with interest. But you'll be the one deciding this time. You now carry the crown of experience. You carry divine maturity. You're not just healed, you're elevated. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. Your tears baptized your purpose. You cried, and now the land around you is fertile for miracles. What once felt like a burial ground is now sacred territory. The people who laughed at your struggle will whisper in awe at your rise. Because what's coming cannot be hidden. It will shine too brightly to be denied. You're entering rooms where your name has already been spoken. Destinies are being realigned for your appearance. Things are shifting faster than your awareness can register. But your soul already knows. It feels lighter. The chains that held you are broken. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. Your story is not about how long you suffered. It's about how deeply you transformed. The pain turned your heart into a compass pointing toward destiny. What others see as scars, heaven sees as sacred maps. Those marks are proof of survival, of strength, of divine trust. They make you powerful beyond human understanding. You're not chasing anything now. What's yours is gravitating toward you with divine speed. And what isn't yours is falling away with grace. You're glowing differently. People can feel it before you speak. That's the aura of divine reward. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. The reward will not only be financial. It will be emotional peace. It will be spiritual alignment. It will be relationships that don't make you question your worth. The person you're becoming can no longer fit into old spaces. That's why some doors closed, so you wouldn't shrink again. That was divine mercy. Archangel Michael says, you were never forgotten. You were simply being refined. And now, your light cannot be ignored. You're about to understand why the isolation was necessary. Why the delay happened. It was never denial, it was divine redirection. Type Amen to get blessing 2121. The silence of your nights was filled with angelic whispers. You didn't hear them, but your soul responded. It kept moving, even when your body was tired. You've been promoted in the spirit. Your rank has changed. You are no longer who you used to be. Soon, the atmosphere around you will respond to that shift. Favor will follow you. Doors will open without effort. You don't have to knock anymore. The doors now know your name. They've been waiting for you to walk into your reward. Type Amen to get blessing 2222. You are a divine vessel now. A walking miracle. And miracles do not apologize for their glow. Your glow will attract attention. But not everyone can handle the light. Some will come to admire, others to test, but you'll know the difference now. This next season will require less noise and more presence. Less proving and more believing. You've outgrown explanations. The reward will make everything worth it. And when it comes, you won't question the timing, you'll feel its perfection. Type Amen to get blessing 2323. Your life is proof that pain can purify. That suffering can sanctify. And that nothing is wasted in the hands of divinity. Every delay served a purpose. Every detour had destiny coded into it. Now the path ahead is being cleared. Archangel Michael says, the blessings you're about to walk into will seem surreal. But they are your birthright. They were written before your first tear. No weapon formed against you succeeded, not because you were lucky, but because you were protected. You've always been guarded by light. Type Amen to get blessing 2424. Look around. The signs are subtle but clear. Your energy is changing. Your thoughts are becoming sharper. Your peace is returning. That is the beginning of reward. Not all rewards are loud. Some begin as peace. But soon, the loud ones will arrive too. Promotions. Connections. Confirmations. All woven in divine timing. You'll be so grateful you didn't give up. You'll be in awe of how it all comes together. It won't just be a reward, it will be restoration. Type Amen to get blessing 2525. The people who caused your pain will not be able to access your joy. That's divine justice. Watching from a distance is their consequence. But you'll soar. Higher than they thought possible. Because your soul chose healing over revenge. That choice has opened ancient gates in the spiritual realm. You're now being called blessed not by man, but by the divine. And no one can cancel that. Your name is being engraved into divine memory. You're becoming a testimony. A symbol of what survival looks like. Type Amen to get blessing 2626. Stay humble, but don't stay small. You were always meant for more. And more is now being released. You've cried your last hopeless tear. The tears from here on will be tears of gratitude. Of wonder. Of awe. Archangel Michael says, the battle is over. Your reward has begun. This isn't a promise, it's a manifestation. Even when the crowd didn't clap, the heavens did. Now the world will have no choice but to witness your glow. And they'll know, your pain was never wasted. Type Amen to get blessing 2727. Your journey was never about revenge. It was about resurrection. You're being reborn. The divine has prepared a table, and your name is on every seat. You'll sit with peace, prosperity, and purpose. And as you rise, take your light with you. Let it burn so bright it guides others out of darkness. That is the reward multiplied. You are the answer to prayers, yours and someone else's. That's how big your transformation is. That's how grand your pain's purpose was. Type Amen to get blessing 2828. There's a moment in every chosen one's life when silence breaks into celebration. You are approaching that moment. All that you sacrificed, all that you endured, will soon erupt into joy too powerful to hide. Your pain wasn't punishment, it was positioning. While you were suffering, heaven was shifting everything in your favor. Behind the darkness, a new reality was forming that will now embrace you. The voices that once told you that you were forgotten will have no more power. Because you weren't forgotten, you were being remembered by eternity itself. You were placed in a waiting room, not a grave. Type Amen to get blessing 2929. No more will you have to explain your pain to those who never intended to understand you. Your story is about to speak louder than your words ever could. The reward will announce your strength. You'll no longer be defined by what you lost. You'll be celebrated for what you've survived. You'll be rewarded for every single moment you kept going when it hurt. The spirit realm is moving. Energy is aligning. You can feel something coming, even if you can't explain it, and you're right. Because this isn't just a season of restoration. It's a season of recognition. And no one will be able to take it from you. Type Amen to get blessing 3030. You passed the test of bitterness. You didn't let pain turn your heart to stone. That purity is about to attract more than you imagined. You're not just being rewarded with things, you're being rewarded with purpose. With alignment. With supernatural protection. Archangel Michael says, this chapter will feel unfamiliar in the best way. The weight will lift. And miracles will arrive like waves. There will be a quiet knowing inside you. You'll walk into rooms you never qualified for, on paper. But spiritually, you were always meant to be there. Type Amen to get blessing 3131. You'll begin to see signs, people returning with apologies, opportunities falling into place without effort, old pain no longer hurting when you remember it. Those are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Confirmations that your healing has matured. Confirmations that your spirit is now ready to receive. Confirmations that the reward is no longer a promise, it is an arrival. You're not in the same cycle anymore. The chains that once kept you circling pain have been broken. You're moving forward now, without resistance. Those who laughed at you will soon watch in disbelief. The same mouths that doubted will whisper your name in wonder. Type Amen to get blessing 3232. You will not have to prove anything. The blessings will speak for you. The glow will explain everything. It's okay if you still feel traces of that old sorrow. That's not weakness, that's memory. And those memories now hold lessons, not burdens. From this point forward, your path is covered. Not just by prayer, but by prophecy. You are walking inside a word that was spoken long ago in your favor. Your reward has a name. It's peace. It's honor. It's overflow. Type Amen to get blessing 3333. There will be a moment, soon, when you'll realize you've outgrown your old pain. It no longer lives in your bones the way it used to. It can't. Because you've evolved. And evolving comes with benefits. The divine sees it. Archangel Michael says, your name has been etched in light. Every angel knows what you've endured. And they are clearing your way. Even the shadows you thought would never lift will disappear like smoke. The new light is too strong to be hidden. You are finally ready. Type Amen to get blessing 3434. This is not just a breakthrough. This is compensation. For every insult. Every betrayal. Every late night you sat with tears as your only company. You did not beg to be strong. Life made you strong. And now that strength is unlocking blessings. No more scarcity in any form. Scarcity of love, peace, or resources, it's over. The overflow begins now. You're not reaching for crumbs anymore. You're being invited to the feast. And it's already prepared. Type Amen to get blessing 3535. The tables are turning. Not by revenge, but by redemption. And redemption is louder than revenge. People will wonder how you're still standing. What they'll never understand is, you were held up by something they could never see. You were carried by divine hands. And now those same hands are placing a crown upon your spirit. A crown made of resilience, silence, and sacred strength. That is the final result of your pain. It didn't defeat you. It promoted you. Type Amen to get blessing 3636. Let them whisper. Let them wonder. The only sound you need now is the sound of your reward approaching. You'll wake up with more ease. You'll walk with more clarity. You'll love with more peace. This life ahead is the one you were truly meant for. No more fitting into molds that dimmed you. No more silencing yourself to be accepted. You're entering full authenticity. And that is where the real blessings live. That is where your reward was waiting all along. Type Amen to get blessing 3737. The energy around you is not lying. The chills you feel aren't random. They're echoes of a promise fulfilled. Everything that felt delayed was really just building momentum. The harder the wait, the louder the reward. And now, it's thundering in. This is a new realm. You've crossed over from endurance into excellence. From waiting to walking. Archangel Michael says, your new identity is strength crowned with softness. You are both battle-worn and beautifully renewed. Type Amen to get blessing 3838. They said it would take years. But when heaven moves, time becomes irrelevant. What's coming will be quick. You'll find yourself in moments you used to dream about. But they won't feel like dreams anymore. They'll feel like breath, real, present, and permanent. Your future is no longer in the distance. It's entering now. Quietly, powerfully, unstoppably. You are not broken, you are built. You are not waiting, you are receiving. You are not forgotten, you are the favored one. Type Amen to get blessing 3939. Look at yourself. Not through the lens of pain, but through the reflection of endurance. See how far you've come. This strength is sacred. This story is holy. And this reward is overdue. You've made it through every version of despair. Now it's time to experience every version of joy. Let it flood in. Let the reward arrive without apology. Without hesitation. Without fear. You're not just ready, you're aligned. And the divine agrees. Type Amen to get blessing 4040.